Hi, this is Dan. I just wanted to make a quick video just to show a way to sort of solve the following for X questions. And it's just a technique that I found helps people understand if you don't get it and you're kind of struggling with these questions. So let's get into it. So this first question, 3x plus 9 equals 36. We want to solve for x. So the final form we want is this sort of x equals something. So we got to get to that. But first we want to know what order we have to get rid of the pieces. And what I like to do is think of the burgers and chips analogy, which is this is our burger. So the number and the variable, in this case it's 3x. And this is our chips, our constant 9. So in this hypothetical world, we always want to get rid of the chips. We always eat our chips first before we even take on our burger. That might not be how you do it, but this is how we do it in the maths world. So first of all, we want to eat our chips. So how we do that? Well, the way I like to explain and what makes it the simplest is whatever is being done to it, you do the opposite. So here's an example. We currently have plus 9 here. So the opposite of plussing 9 would be subtracting 9. So we're going to draw these arrows in and we're going to subtract 9 on both sides. It's very important that we do it on both sides. So what are we going to be left with? We're going to be left with 3x equals 27. Because we've subtracted this 9 and we've subtracted 9 from this 36 and we're left with this. Great, so now we're just left with the burgers. Now in this burger, let's say we don't like pickles. We're not a fan of them. We want to get rid of them. So before we can get into our form of x equals something, we need to get rid of this pesky 3, this pickle that we've got. Not happy. Not happy at all. Sad face indeed. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the same thing we did before. The whole do the opposite of what is being done to it. So we need to think about what's happening with this 3x. I'm going to go in blue. 3x is really just saying 3 multiplied by x, right? So if we were to think about what the opposite of x times 3 is, it would be x divided by 3. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back here and we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. Remember, both sides is important. This number on the right all the way down here is always going to be changing. So we're going to divide by 3. This is just going to become x because we've gotten rid of it. And now we need to think 27 divided by 3. We have to think about our times tables and it's 9. And that's our final answer. We got it in the form we want, x equals 9. So I'm just going to rehash over it. We start off with our burger and chips. We get rid of our chips and we're left with our burger. We get rid of the pickle and we're there. I've now got a slightly different example. This is one involving a fraction, which makes it a bit more difficult, but we just got to add one more ingredient. So instead of just having the burgers and chips, so we have our chips here, we have our burger, we also have a drink. And again, because we're weird and we're in the maths world, there's going to be an order to it. So our order is we will eat our chips and we've enjoyed our chips. We want to switch it up. We're going to drink our drink and then we're going to deal with our burger. And there may be a pickle on there and we'll deal with the pickle accordingly. So let's get to it. We're going to get rid of our chips. So it's currently plus 3, so we're going to do the opposite, which is minus 3. We're going to do that on both sides. So on the left here, we're just going to be left with 3x on 12 equals, and on the right, we're going to do 6 minus 3, well that's going to leave us with 3. So, as I said, now that we've dealt with the chips, we want to deal with our drink, this 12 down here. Now what is the 12 currently doing? Well, if we look at the fraction, 3x on 12, that's the same as just writing 3x divided by 12. So really, the opposite of doing this, we're going to want to times by 12. So let's do it. So we're going to draw in our arrows. We want good workings out. And we're going to times by 12 on both sides. So now that we've gotten rid of that 12, we're just left with the 3x on the left. And now 3 times 12, that's 36. So we're almost there. Now we're left with our just burger left over, but we still got that pickle and we got to get rid of the pickle. And as we remember from last time, 3x is 3 times x, so doing the opposite, we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. So what's that going to leave us with? Well, it's going to be x on this side equals 36 divided by 3. 12. Okay, so now that I've taught you the technique, let's now just do a couple questions just to make sure you got it down pat. So first, 3x on 5 plus 14 equals 20. Okay, so let's identify all of our bits. So we got chips over here as the 14. We got our burger, our 3x, and we have our drink, the 5. So let's do the order. We want to deal with our chips first. So we have plus 14, so if we do the opposite, we're subtracting 14. So we got that. We're going to be left with 3x over 5 on the left equals 20 minus 14, that is 6. Okay, so now what's the next thing? We want to deal with our drink. So we're currently dividing by 5, so the opposite of that will be timesing by 5. And that's going to leave us with 3x equals 30. So we're up to our last step. We want to get rid of this pickle, our 3. So we're currently timesing by 3, so what are we going to do? The opposite, which is divide by 3. What are we going to be left with? We're going to be left with x equals 30 divided by 3, which is 10. So that's our first one. Let's move on to our next. 15x plus 4 equals 64. So similar sort of stuff. We want to identify our burgers and chips. So here's our chips, here's our burger. So let's get rid of our chips. We're currently plussing 4, so we're going to subtract 4 on both sides. That's going to leave us with 15x equals 60. Now finally, we got our pickle. We want to get rid of that pickle, our 15. It's currently 15 times x, so we're going to divide by 15. Alright, this one's a bit of a thinker. You might have to use your calculator, might not, depending. But 60 divided by 15, that's going to leave us with 4 as our final answer. And that's the technique. Hope that helped. See you all.